This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and it is a joy to be here with you as we are going to be talking about some things that are really precious and dear to my heart, as I have 4 children myself and grandchildren coming, another one just born. So I'm super excited to be able to provide a resource that helps us as parents and grandparents and great-grandparents have healthier families. Folks, we start with ourselves, we share with our family, we work on our family, then our community, and together as we are helping others, we are helping to make a healthier world, not just community. And that's what this program is all about. It is sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. On dailywithdoc.com, you will find replays to our past episodes. You'll also find articles that are very helpful in giving you more knowledge and information about the importance of nutrition. You'll find a list of foods, some good foods, bad foods list to really take serious, not just consider, but really take serious, especially those things on the bad food side. You're also going to find a way that you can sign up for our email list. So we want to make sure that you are staying in the know. And as we are having special events, as we are providing invitations and also replays, a list of replays from the past, we want to make sure that you have that information available to you easily in your email box. So if you were invited by somebody specific, please make sure that you get back with them. They cared enough and took time to share this information with you. Make sure that you get back with them. They are your point of contact, especially if you have questions in regards to anything that you hear on today's programming. Now, if you've never heard of any, but if you've never been referred to this program by anybody, you found it on your own, then we do have a call team that is standing by at 855-949-3377. That's 855-949-3377. They are there to help you figure out what is needed on your health journey to make that needed U-turn. And they're also there if you are wanting to join in this crusade and help others find a better health journey. They can answer those questions as well. Well, today, as I mentioned, we are going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart, and that has to do with children. So, folks, it's not genetic or a coincidence that there are birth defects or childhood illnesses. There really is a critical role when it comes to nutrition, and it starts before
recording in progress.
Before they even breathe their very first breath of oxygen. Thank you so much. So I am going to bring to the screen with me in just a moment an individual who has been very diligent in making sure the value of nutrition is heard. So diligent, with so much commitment, not just in his research, but financial dollar as well, that this individual sued the FDA 8 times with victories in order to force baby food manufacturers to get specific nutrients added to the formulas and baby food to prevent, and I don't know what the word is, treat. We're not supposed to say certain words, okay? But folks, when you put something in the diet and then specific health concerns just diminish or vanish, what's the word that you would put to that?
Prevent.
Because, well, prevent is another one of those words, Doc. It's amazing, though, what the body can do as it's creating, even while we're in our mama's womb, when it's given the right nutrition. And mamas, if you're thinking about having babies, or in you're just want to live a long life so that you can watch the children that you've already had and the grandchildren grow and be able to enjoy them, this message is for you as well, because there is no age limit. There are no country boundaries or borders that this information pertains to. It is valid for every single one. Now, the doctor that we have on with us, I started to say, how he had sued the FDA. He also found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. He proved that it was not genetic, and he provided the solution to not just change a situation that had already occurred, but to reduce the occurrences to zilch of it happening when the right situation is given, and we must be intentional. He also has been very instrumental in finding what was the underlying cause of something known as muscular dystrophy. For those of you older than probably 40, you may remember the telethon that happened every September with Jerry Lewis, the comedian, where he was working hard and promoting a program that raised money to find a cure for muscular dystrophy. Well, Dr. Wallach and one of our amazing distributors, Marvin Roth, found that, put it into action, had results, took that information, presented it to Jerry Lewis, who then took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association, where he was, as Dr. Wallach puts it, summarily fired, terminated, with a gag order so that he could not share the message with others. Well, guess what? We don't have that gag order, so we're going to share it. Folks, there is so much that we as individuals can do to help ourselves, help our families, help our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, our aunts and uncles. That is why you are watching this program today, because I'm sure that one of those categories you have within your life. So without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to bring to the screen with me one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics that has proven that theory of disease transmission to be incorrect, where there are no genetic diseases. So Dr. Joel Wallach, thank you so much for continuing to fight hard. And I was just going for that book. Okay. Great minds, Doc. So it's epigenetics, and here you are, where you found the first case of non-human, which was supposed to be a human-only disease, cystic fibrosis, with this tiny little baby.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a genetically transmitted disease in humans, cystic fibrosis. And I sent the tissues of this baby monkey that I had. I knew it was cystic fibrosis, but I didn't want to tell them what it was. They wouldn't even look at the tissues. So I sent them the tissues, the microscopic slides of the tissue. I said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And they sent back, and we're talking about Yale, Harvard, the pathology departments. Now, these are classical examples of a case of cystic fibrosis. And I told them it was from a monkey, because I was working at the Yerkes Primate Center as a pathologist. And it was one of those things that just freaked everybody out. Okay. And 2 years into this, because I had to get everything all put together, and taking it to get it published, they fired me because it was supposed to be a genetic disease of humans. They fired me. And so Jerry Lewis got fired for muscular dystrophy. I got fired for cystic fibrosis. And it was one of those things where, but we stuck with it, sued the FDA 8 times in federal courts. They kept re-suing. We beat them, they'd sue us again, and we'd beat them, they'd sue us again. And so after 8 times, they just threw up their hands and said, oh, this guy's not going to give up, just let him have it. Okay. And so it's one of those things where we're so very, very proud. And then one more thing, wasn't too much longer, a couple of years after that, we were able to eliminate another baby disease. It was sudden death syndrome, SID, sudden death syndrome. Many people who are in their 40s and 50s, they'll remember sudden death syndrome. In America, we'd lose 400, 500, 600 babies a month in America, okay, from sudden death syndrome. And medical doctors were blaming mothers for laying on the babies and suffocating. And I was able to prove it was actually caused by nutritional deficiencies of the heart muscle. And so you don't hear, and so those are one of the things we got put into baby farms. So you don't hear about cystic fibrosis anymore. You don't hear about muscular dystrophy anymore. You don't hear about the sudden death syndrome, SIDS, muscular dystrophy. You don't hear about any of that anymore. Okay, sudden death syndrome,
Yeah,
SIDS.
and I'm sure that there's more, Dr. Wallach. I'm sure that there's more.
Oh, yeah.
Because as we're talking and thinking about child birth defects, childhood diseases, the one that comes to my mind is it affects our family is cerebral palsy.
Yeah, cerebral palsy. We were talking about all the things that people, spina bifida, cleft palate, on and on and on. Okay, and so forth. And cerebral palsy, okay, this is one of those diseases that are caused by a lack of myelin, the white matter of the brain and spinal cord, okay? And in many cases, you can actually rebuild that brain and spinal cord and get rid of cerebral palsy, okay? Get rid of Parkinson's disease, get rid of Alzheimer's disease, get rid of multiple sclerosis, ALS, amyotrophic lateral, all these things that are said to be genetic. No, they're just simple nutritional deficiency diseases. And we're able to find that. And the original flip chart that came out on page 24, there's a whole page, like 20 different diseases of the brain and spinal cord in kids that are caused by deficiency of myelin, white matter of the brain and spinal cord. And then today, depending on what issue, we were talking about, you're looking at page 26 and 27. We have, in fact, reversed now hundreds of cases of Parkinson's disease, okay? Because we came up with a product. We came up with a product called what? Oh, the product is called.
Well, we acquired a company that has amazing product in the product I-26, which I stands for immune. 26, the 26 different pathogens that it is able to eliminate. But there's so much more than just that I-26 part, Doc.
I know.
You got the good cholesterol.
Yeah, and of course, cholesterol is your best friend. The only time you don't want cholesterol is when it's fried. Okay, you do not want to fry cholesterol. The cholesterol makes up 95% of the weight of estrogen and testosterone, two sex hormones. It also makes up 85% of the weight of the brain and spinal cord, cholesterol. Okay, because the brain and the testes and the ovaries convert the cholesterol into the hormones and into the myelin of the brain and spinal cord. And so suddenly now we went from 60,000 new cases of Parkinson's disease each year in America. We went to this year yet, just, I don't know, 6 months ago, it ran up to 90,000 now, went up 50%, because doctors were giving like free injections to reduce your cholesterol levels. And people ran to get that. And that's what caused all these birth defects.
Yeah, in January of 2024, they came out with a new report that showed that the occurrence of Parkinson's was up from 60,000, which it had been for more than a decade,
100 years, yeah.
1,000 new cases. So that's pretty significant, Doc. And then when we are able to work with people and have all of those symptoms or most of those symptoms diminish
Go away.
once we put them on a program, I mean, it's pretty fantastic, Doc.
Yeah, well,
Because a lot of people,
we're very proud of that, and we
yeah,
can't thank our team enough because it's a team effort to get all that done. And it's one of those things where this is why we came up with a flip chart, because we didn't want people to look at a 500-page book and say, oh my gosh, I don't have time to read all that and understand all those big words. So we came out with a flip chart to make the information, what should I say, understandable to the person of the sixth grade reading level, okay? If you have a sixth grade reading level, you can read everything in the flip chart and all the famous people, okay, who have gotten these diseases, 90 for life, crusade to save humanity in the world, okay? And we have so many famous people, They're movie stars, they're athletes,
well,
they're
yeah,
people who are government people, okay? And so these are people who just don't say something publicly if it isn't true.
right. And one person that I've helped personally who was having a lot of neurological conditions, Dr. Wallach, digestive conditions. He was losing muscle. And that's a Latino singer, Jesse Medelis. Sorry, Jesse. But he is so thankful to you, Dr. Wallach, and the products that you have put together that has given him his life back, because he had tried a lot of different things. He was even in the health field, Doc, and found that they were not helping him, which is why he started looking into nutrition in natural ways, and that's where he found a solution. So there's solutions to be had, Dr. Wallach. Doesn't matter how old or young you are.
No, it doesn't. Like you can prevent the conditions before your embryo. And this is where we really need to talk to pediatricians. We need to talk to OBGYNs and have both males and females take the 90 essential nutrients long before they even think about having kids, okay? They need to be taking these. And I started taking the 90 essential nutrients when I was 3 years old, because I was going to the gym with my father, who is a world champion boxer. And so he was with all these other athletes at these gymnasiums, and there's all these vitamins and minerals around there, and I'd be getting all this juice and that juice and this vitamin, this pill, and so forth when I was 3 years old. And this is why I was understanding the importance of it. My father was a world champion, and that's because he was taking all these nutrients and nobody could beat him, okay? And so that got me interested in exercise, got me interested in nutrition. And of course, we have so many great stories. We have so many athletes we've dealt with, including Theo Ratliff, one of our great basketball players. We came up with him, and we came up with the
Rebound and the bone and joint pack.
Yeah, the healthy bone and joint pack for his osteoporosis. And also they wanted to amputate his knees and his hips and give him artificial joints. He didn't want to do that. And so we came up with the healthy bone and joint pack, okay, which was really our healthy start pack. And I came up with the glucogel and added the glucogel with the healthy start pack. And it became the healthy bone and joint pack. And then we had the glucogel to eliminate bone broth. And some of the older people will remember bone broth for many thousands of years. People were boiling bones in vinegar. The next morning they would drink that, and they didn't know why, but they knew when they did that, it prevented arthritis. It could cure arthritis. And so bone broth was a big thing for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And just 3 months with the glucogel, it's not necessary to have bone broth anymore and stink up the house.
Yeah, it's amazing, the raw ingredients and quality ingredients, not just any ingredients, but quality ingredients that's put into the longevity nutrition that is absorbable and absolutely provides solutions. So, Doc, we do have some hands up. We want to make sure that we get to those hands. There's a couple other childhood conditions that a lot of kids suffer from. One of them is constipation. What
Okay.
would cause constipation, and what can we do to help those little guys go, literally?
Okay. Well, constipation, it can be caused by something going on in the brain. The 10th cranial nerve didn't get information down to the stomach and the intestines and the colon and all that kind of stuff. And so this is where the I-26 comes in. It's more than just something to prevent one disease. It covers a whole litany of things that the body does that requires these nutrients. Okay. And so we're going after one thing, and we're clearing up a whole battery, a whole book full of health issues. Okay, because of the I-26 and because of the 90 essential nutrients, the 60 minerals, and the plant-derived colloidal minerals and so forth. It's an endless, what should I say? We've been able to eliminate over 600 different diseases. We've been able to eliminate 600 different diseases with these nutritional programs. And we're so very, very proud of that. And of course, we have so many, what should I say, awards and recognitions and so forth. We're very, very proud of that. And this is why so many people look at us, because we have all these best-selling books. My best-selling book is still selling it by the case, or selling it by the case, is Dead Doctors Don't Lie. I don't know how many languages it's in. It's in many, many languages around the world. But we've sold
So
over.
the book translated. Book itself, I think, is translated into 4 different languages. Your lecture has been translated into 9 different languages, and that is an audio that you can also get from drjwallach.com. That is drjwallach.com, and look for Dead Doctors Don't Lie. You also look for the best of Dead Doctors Don't Lie.
How many of these books have been sold now?
I don't have the exact number on the books, but I know that your lecture is over 400 million copies.
Yeah, 400 million copies of the lecture and CDs and DVDs and that kind of stuff. But the book it's like 347 million copies of the book has been sold. Okay.
Quite a few copies. I'll have to find the exact number, Doc.
Yeah. And so, I call up the office. Anybody buy a book today? Oh, we had 3 people buy a case of books. We had, which one was it? I knew. Well, it's almost 99% of the time, it's always Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And then the next one comes to numbers, is Let's Play Doctor. It teaches them, okay, how to avoid the bad stuff, how to take the 90 essential nutrients so you can get rid of osteoporosis, arthritis, things like high blood pressure. You're talking about diseases that are strange diseases. Okay, what is a strange disease? Well, a strange disease is one is called what?
No, Doc, there's so many of them.
Oh,
are you talking about the conditions that
metabolic syndrome?
Oh, the metabolic syndrome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's 3 signals. If you have these 3 things: abdominal obesity, a big fat belly, if you have type 2 diabetes, and if you have the high blood pressure, you have those 3 items, you have the metabolic syndrome. Now, this goes back 200 million years ago. We knew about this because they were describing it in their, they have. I got and so you're breaking up. I don't know if because you're talking behind the book or what. No.
Well, that's why I want you not to hold up the book so that your voice isn't interrupted.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, this is very easily eliminated Okay, it's a very simple disease to eliminate, and it's one of those things where when you're looking at the book Type 2 diabetes, we spend each year just to treat the symptoms, 342 billion just to treat the symptoms, not to get rid of it. This is one of the three things that go along with the metabolic syndrome. Arthritis, 626.8 billion just to treat the symptom, not to prevent or cure it. Okay, obesity, another one from the metabolic syndrome. You look at $260 billion, okay, just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent it or cure it. Okay, and so this is one of those things where 1/3 of the American adults, now sit down, everybody, 1/3 of the American adults have the metabolic syndrome. The doctors push a lie that it's a genetic disease. It is not a genetic disease. It's a common cluster of nutritional deficiency diseases. We get rid of it all the time just by giving all the 90 essential nutrients and getting them off all the bad foods. We take people who've had metabolic syndrome, and doctors didn't diagnose us that. They just said, oh, you're fat and you got diabetes and so forth, and you have high blood pressure. But that's the metabolic syndrome. We got rid of all those things in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks and a month and 6 months, and they've had it for 25 years. Okay, and so this is something we're very, very proud of. As you know, Rebecca's saying, we're in this up to our eyeballs. We've been doing this a long time. I've been doing it since I was 3 years old, working with my dad in the gym. And so I was really working hard between ages 3 and 6, getting rid of diseases in kids who are between 3 and 6 years of age.
Yourself, Doc.
Huh?
You were working on yourself. You were observant and looking in your environment. And as a farm kid, you know, we're exposed to things other than just, you know, what happens within the house and more of nature, and looking at how they weren't getting all processed and cooked foods, and they weren't having problems.
They were
What
just
is
living
it
in places.
in food?
They were just living in places that didn't have those minerals in the soil.
So, you know, Dr. Wallach, I believe that you were called to do some great things, and that's only proof of what you have done in being able to touch lives. And Doc, you know, there's a lot of adversity when you're trying to spread the truth from those that want to keep it suppressed.
Well, they want to keep it suppressed because of cash flow.
Well, absolutely. But we're investing into our own selves so that we can remain healthy and remain able to thrive, not just survive.
There you go. Thank you.
So, yes, absolutely. So, folks, as we're talking about children and looking at what nutrition needs to be done, just kind of a summary of what Dr. Wallach has mentioned. It needs to start before babies are even thought of being conceived with mom and dad, both mom and dad, getting them on a nutritional program like what Dr. Wallach, I'm not going to say like, exactly what Dr. Wallach has ordered, because it's absorbable, it delivers, it has all the 90 essential nutrients that the body needs, plus some extras that help support those functions of the body that are very instrumental in creating the tiny little being that grows and multiplies. And over months, I mean, 40 weeks is average, I guess, full term. But folks, if they're not getting it early in the development, then that's going to delay some of their development later on. Doc, I don't know what you're playing with, but don't worry about it. Get back up here. Oh, rebound. All right. We got priorities here. But it starts before conception and then through conception. One thing that I did not mention, one of those FDA cases that Dr. Wallach fought and got victory over was getting folate added into prenatal vitamins. So if it's there because of the man that we have on here with us today. As we have our children, we need to make sure that even once they start breathing oxygen, that they are getting the nutrition that their body needs, and not through a formula that the first ingredients is a bottled oil or has added sugar. Folks, be very, very, very diligent at reading those labels. Go to the dailywithdoc.com website, pull up that good foods, bad foods list, look at the ingredients on all of the foods that you have in your cupboard that have an ingredients deck, a nutritional facts panel, and make sure that you are doing what is needed to be diligent yourself in helping your body not have to fight harder than it already is to be able to stay healthy. There's so much we can do to support our temple. And especially with our kids, their brains are developing. They need the nutrients so they can thrive.
Let me step in there, because you're hitting a very important point. I don't want to go through that too fast. I do want to say, in the Bible, 2,000 years ago, they talked about the land flowing with milk and honey. They recognized there was something special in certain areas that had people live to be 120, 140, 150, 200. This is in the Old Testament 2,000 years ago, and this was called the land flowing with milk and honey. Everybody, you can ask anybody, have you ever heard of the land flowing with milk and honey? Oh, everybody knows about the land flowing with milk and honey. Well, what is it? Well, it's where people live a long time. Why? Well, it's a God thing. Well, it is a God thing, but it was due to God having areas where the minerals were coming down from the mountains, and these people were using it in their food. They were using it in their gardens as fertilizer. They were making their tea and their coffee and their food with that water coming down the mountains, all the minerals in it. And this is why they lived to be 120, because they were getting all those minerals coming down in the glacial milk. It wasn't human milk. It wasn't camel's milk. It wasn't goat's milk. It wasn't cow's milk. It was glacial milk. And so this is why that's there. Okay. And again, right now, the people on earth who live the longest still come from those places. Pakistan, of all places, Pakistan, who would have thought Pakistan has the longest lived people on earth right now, not for way back when, but right now, the longest lived people on earth come from Pakistan. And they're the Hunzas who live in the Himalayan mountains, which the Himalayan mountains in Pakistan are grinding up the rocks up in the mountains, and they're watering their plants with that water, that glacial milk. They're eating in their foods, and they're living to be 120 years. Okay, 120 years. And then, of course, there's many of them that live to be longer than that, 125, 130, 140, 150, 200. And so this still is there. The proof is there. This is an endless cycle, okay? So don't just throw away 25 years of your life. You can add 25 to 50 healthy years of your life by taking the 90 essential nutrients. Take the 90 essential nutrients, okay, your healthy brain and heart pack. Take the I-26, take the rebound, and stay away from all the bad stuff. You can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life for you and your kids, your spouse, your mom and dad, and aunts and uncles, and so forth. And so why not do that? Well, my doctor said that's all nonsense. You just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, that's not true. That doctor has his license taken away. Okay, because you can't get everything you need just by eating well. Maybe in a few places like the land flowing with milk and honey, but not everywhere.
Right. So I know Dr. Wallach, even in Pakistan, there's pockets that have higher nutrient value in the soil.
That's correct. It is coming down out of the mountains.
Right. And that glacial milk was feeding the crops. Water, that's what they were to water their crops. And folks, if it's not in the water that's watering the crops and it's not in the soil, it's not going to be in the food. And we're specifically talking and referring to minerals. And there's minimum of 60 minerals the body requires to thrive. So get back with the person that shared this program with you and say, okay, I need my 90 essential nutrients. 60 of them are minerals. That's about 2/3 if you do counts by individual nutrients themselves. But they do not take the place of the other 30 that's missing. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, pick up the phone, 855-949-3377. If you prefer email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com, and we will make sure that we help you find answers to help you either stay healthy or remain healthy or regain health. You know what I mean? But Doc, when we start our kids young, it just sets them up to thrive even better and better. And that is what I'm all about. And I know you are as well. So let's go to some questions. AJ, are you ready to ask a question?
Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Hello. Yes, sir. What's going on?
You know, I got a quick testimonial and then a question. You know, I have a small basketball team with young kids, and one kid came to our tryout one day, and he was real recluse, didn't want to participate, was kind of whiny. And then I pulled the kids and I gave them each a little bit of Rebound to drink. Kid drank a little Rebound, and he was a different kid within 10 minutes, just running around, just playing with everybody, real active. So I just wanted to mention that that's not my most dramatic rebound story. I mean, I got dramatic rebound stories.
And we have thousands of them. Yep.
Yeah. So, but my question is this weekend we were giving out our annual book bag drive we give out for the kids. And then as we were doing that, I noticed that at least 10, maybe 15 or so of the kids were like real, just staring into space, clearly having developmental issues. And in the ranges of ages between like 5 and, you know, it's a big, really big high school with clearly some like Down syndrome symptoms or some sort of developmental problems. What would you do to help children that are already born maybe at least have a better quality of life?
Well, then you get rid of all the bad foods. Okay, so the whole family's got to cooperate there. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. You know, that one's got to go. And then they can take, if they're young kids, you know, under 10, take the kid, okay, as a multiple. It's a liquid. It tastes good. The kids think it's kind of juicy juice, but it's got some vitamins and minerals in it. Okay. And then they need the I-26. The chewables, I like the French vanilla, but they also like the banana coconut. That's our biggest selling one is the banana coconut one. Okay, the chewables. That'll regrow the brain. That'll regrow their spinal cord. But they got to take the 90 essential nutrients. Okay. And again, the younger kids, they can take the kids Toddy and then slowly graduate to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack as they get older. And don't forget the Rebound. Okay. This is, you can start this. Don't give it to them after 3 o'clock in the afternoon because they'll be up all night and keep you up all night. Okay. But I take one of these with breakfast. I take one of these at, I've got a Zoom in Africa coming up here pretty soon. But just before that Zoom in Africa, about a half hour before that, I'll take one of these in a quart of water and be ready. And I can speak a little bit of Zulu because I spent 2 years there in Africa, in Umfolozi and Shislui game reserves.
By donkey.
By donkey. Oh, very good.
Well, I know that's not Zulu.
And by donkey is thank you very much. Yeah.
So, so can we put in the kids, mix in the KidSprinklz and with the kids Toddy, that sort of thing?
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic, Doc. Well, you know, as you tell us all the time, keep up the good work.
Yeah, keep up the good work, because it takes an army, okay, to do this. You know, one person speaking, you know, even God has an army. Just think of all the people who are running around telling God's story, God's message, okay? And without them doing it, it'd be rough, even for
Yep.
the good Lord.
Yeah, I think we were given our voice for a reason, Dr. Wallach, and that is to spread messages of hope like this, and using God's creation that has been put into the products that have been created by and formulated by yourself and your team, that are offered from the company Longevity. But folks, the best place to find your solutions is through somebody like a certified holistic health coach, a health advocate that is associated with Longevity. Now, there's big box sellers out there, but if you want any coaching, they can't offer it. If you want suggestions how to take it, they can't offer it. So why not get yourself your own personal certified holistic health coaches? Many times they don't even charge you for their time. They have a heart to make sure that you and your family are getting what you need in order to thrive. Now, Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Bill, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Well, it's not exactly Bill. It's Mrs. It's
No.
Nancy.
Hello,
Anyway.
Nancy.
Hey, I just want you to know I've been a fan of yours. I think since the early 80s, maybe even sooner. But anyway, I had quit taking a mineral supplement and about 10 years ago, and I now have AFib. And I've got, I think it's your starter pack, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I think I'm taking too much of one thing, and I don't have all that I really need. And so I'm wanting to make sure that I have everything that you recommend for AFib. And and I don't know that I need it or not, but I'm also whatever the new gut health thing. I've been very healthy until this AFib. I almost never catch a cold. I'm very active. I'm 71 years old, and I didn't even know what an EKG and an EEG was until 6 months ago. I mean, I
Okay,
didn't know the difference.
let me interrupt here. Okay, how old are you and how much do you weigh?
71 years old, and I weigh 191 pounds.
I'm sorry, 191?
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
weigh every day.
Now, do you have any ringing in your ears or any balance problems?
Not much, maybe occasionally.
Okay. Let's see, do you have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No, sir. I've just recently, and my blood pressure has just recently been considered high within the last 6 months.
Okay, no diabetes.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, well, here we go. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. 191 pounds. You need 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. A full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. Then I want you to have the, let's see here. You also need the what? I'd go
MSM Ultra.
Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those at breakfast, at 3 at dinner time, and that's going to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in your brain and your heart and your kidneys and so forth. That's going to help bring blood pressure into the normal range. And it's one of those things that I take three of those Ultimate Daily Classic tablets 3 times a day myself. Okay. And I'm 85 years old. And so most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me. And so, but 191 pounds, yeah, I should take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, and then don't forget the rebound for your energy. You can take 2 of those. So 1 box, okay, will last you 2 weeks. So there's 30 of these sticks in a box. Okay. And so 1 stick and a quart of water at breakfast, 1 stick and a quart of water, say before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't do it later than that. You'll be up all night. Okay. And the blood pressure will come down. The blood flow will be good. The odds are you have osteoporosis of the skull, causing the balance problems and a little bit of ringing in the ears, so forth. And so it wouldn't hurt for you to get the book. It's all in your head. My
I
favorite.
have that.
Okay,
I have
good.
that book,
Okay, go to
but it doesn't get,
yeah, go to
okay.
page 6 and you'll see where the top skull is a normal skull. It's a 1/4 inch thick. The bottom skull has osteoporosis. It's 2 inches thick. Okay. It's not bone. It's actually just cartilage and connective tissue, scar tissue taking the place of bone. Okay. But it's all rebuildable. You can fix all that. Okay. And so
Okay.
let's get you going. And everything you're complaining about is reversible. None of it's genetic. Okay. Atrial fibrillation, again, this is your nerves from your brain being squeezed, causing your heart to do really weird, shaky things. Okay. And so that's going to help that. Okay. And so it's one of those things where you're going to solve many, many problems with the little information we've given you. Give us a call every couple of weeks and we'll walk you through this. You're going to have a great story. But don't forget the I-26. You need either the chewables, the capsules, or the powder. You take your choice. I like the chewables. Go ahead and throw a handful in my pocket and, my shirt pocket and my jacket pocket or in my briefcase. And I don't like the powder because sometimes you'll get the top on tight and the whole darn thing will spill into the briefcase. Okay. But I like the rebound. I like the
Pulse.
yeah, I like the ones that are I-26, the chewables. Okay.
All right, so just kind of a real quick recap for you, Nancy. The Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack. You want to do at least 1 pack per 100 pounds. Ultimate Daily Classic, 3 twice a day. Glucogel, depending on the condition, up to 5 3 times a day. MSM Ultra, 3 tablets twice a day. I-26. Doc loves I-26 because it's so giving the body what it needs to support that nerve protection that is causing that whenever the protection around the nerves gets interfered with, it goes away. It does go away. I mean, like Dr. Wallach was saying, it's what, 90% cholesterol?
Yes.
So if you're on a low cholesterol or a cholesterol lowering drug, so a low cholesterol diet or a cholesterol lowering drug, you're opening yourself up to having issues that affect the neurological function system within our body. And AFib is one that Dr. Wallach has found to be part of that. So making sure that you get your I-26 and supporting that and not taking something that's going to prevent your body from being able to use or utilize cholesterol. Did I miss anything, Doc?
No, you get an A+.
Oh, good. I was hoping for an A++, but I'll take an A+. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. Or Nancy, did you have another question, another part to that? No? All right. Let's go over to Rod. Rod, what question do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Good afternoon, Doc. How you doing?
Hello, welcome. What's up?
I have a friend who had 2 miscarriages, and in her 2 miscarriages, she's trying to see what she can do, strengthen her body so she can have kids. She's 5'7" or 5'8", about 145 pounds.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's 38 years old.
Okay, all right. Well, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even that one's got to go because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb food or digest food. Okay, you must get rid of that carbonation. Then, you say 175 pounds. She's too healthy.
140 pounds.
130 pounds.
But
130 pounds. Okay. I still have her because she wants to have a baby. We don't want any birth defects. So she needs to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. I want her to take the I-26. So you can take either the chewables, the capsules, or the powder. I like the chewables. Take 2 or 3 doses a day of the I-26 to rebuild the brain and spinal cord and the big nerves going all over the body. And for drinking, and instead of diet drinks and colas and that kind of stuff and soft drinks, what you want to do is be drinking the plant-derived minerals. Okay,
okay.
the ones that we have 8 different ones. Okay, we have contracts with these mines, and the ones that have the least, they have 75 minerals, but most of them have 95 different minerals in there. Okay, I take an ounce of that twice a day. I only weigh 142 pounds. And it's one of those things where the importance of a constant flow of minerals into the body goes back to the land flowing with milk and honey. That's why those people live so long, because they're getting this constant flow of minerals for their drinking water, their cooking water, their irrigation water. Okay. And so they're getting all these minerals constantly coming into their diet, their baths and showers and so forth, getting it absorbed through their skin. And that's why they live to be 120. They live to be 150, 200, and so on. It wasn't genetics. Okay. And these were godly places. And right now, the one that's doing the best, of course, is the Pakistanis and the Hunza tribes in the Himalayan mountains. They're the longest lived peoples on earth because they live in the land flowing with milk and honey. It still exists.
Okay.
Okay, that help you out a little bit?
Yes, sir. So do you recommend any of the female hormone products or anything like that, as far as miscarriages or anything like that?
Okay, well, we do have the Xerafem, XERA-Fem. Okay, so you could take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. I take 2 of the Xeratest, which are for males. I take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Okay, and it's one of those things where, we have over 2,500 products. So we don't want her to take them all, but she needs to take everything going. And the important thing is at least 3 months, every day for 3 months before she gets pregnant, because we don't want to have babies born with a birth defect. We don't want to have babies born, little girls saying they're boys, little boys saying they're girls. That's because mama didn't have enough nutrition to have all the development of all the tissues of the body go along in the same direction. That's why those kids have those problems.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, God bless.
Thank you so much, you too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rod. And let's go over to David. David, go ahead and unmute yourself. David, can you?
Yes, yes. I've been a diabetic for 45 years, type 2, and I wanted to know, can you rebuild beta cells in the pancreas?
I'm sorry, can I build what?
Beta cells in the pancreas.
Oh, listen, the type 2 diabetes is a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. You ready? We can get rid of that in weeks. I don't care if you've had it for 25 years. We get people with type 2 diabetes for 25 years, and in 2 weeks' time, they don't have it anymore. Okay? So you got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. How much do you weigh, sir?
221.
321?
221.
221. Okay. So you need 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. That's 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. Then you need to get 2 bottles a month of the sweeties. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and 3 at dinner time. And don't cold turkey off your medication if you're on medication for your diabetes type 2. But as your blood sugar begins to drop a little bit, you can slowly reduce your medication. Okay. And so somewhere between 2 weeks and 6 weeks and 8 weeks, you're going to see a dramatic drop in your blood sugar. But don't cold turkey off your medication, and just reduce your medication based on the numbers. And you can take your blood sugar, you can take your urine sugar levels, but you get on this program, it never fails. I'll repeat that. As long as you're doing your part, getting rid of the bad stuff, you're taking your 90 essential nutrients, you're throwing in the sweeties, you will have a miracle, okay? And we'll give the good Lord all the credit. We'll give the good Lord all the credit, because again, we're in 81 countries, and guess what? They all react the same. We can get rid of diabetes in every country in the world, every no matter what language they speak. If they take our program, we can get rid of type 2 diabetes. So you can look forward to being a diabetic-free person if you do everything we've just said. And of course, we'll walk you through this.
All right. Thank you so much, David. And Dr. Wallach, Nancy did have another question for you. She said, I had an accident when I was 18, fell out of a moving truck. I've been told I have arthritis and several vertebrae that are fused. Should I see a chiropractor for this?
Well, it wouldn't hurt to see a chiropractor, and don't forget her 90 essential nutrients. Don't forget, in addition to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, don't forget the OsteoFX. OsteoFX, be sure you're taking 3 doses a day of the OsteoFX. Okay. Then you also want to take the plant-derived minerals with the 90 to 100 minerals in there. Take an ounce of that twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. And don't forget the glucogel. Take 3 of those at breakfast, 3 at lunch or dinner time. Glucogel, that'll rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue. It'll rebuild the bone matrix so the calcium has someplace to go. Okay, the calcium can't just float around. It's got to go into your bones. And so this is why we have the glucogel. We have the plant-derived minerals. Okay, and don't forget vitamin D3. Even if you're taking sun baths 3 times a day, take our vitamin D3, take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, depending on your body weight. Or vitamin D3, I do that. Because I'm inside a lot, traveling and going to meetings and things, so I don't get as many sun baths as I'd like per day. Sometimes I get 1 a week, sometimes I get 1 every 2 weeks, and so it's basically I take my vitamin D3, and I'm doing pretty good for 85.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And Ruth Ellen, this will be the last question of the day.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
So, Corey C. in our audience has a question, and she says, if avoiding gluten, is sourdough bread okay? Gluten-free due to the unleavening process. Is that a fact that if you
No gluten in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It can never have been gluten, and you cooked it and it's changed a little bit, that still can't have it.
Okay, because I don't know what the unleavening
Rice, eat
process.
rice, eat like an Asian, eat rice. I have rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay.
Yes.
I gave up gluten many years ago. And it's one of those things where when you look at the people who are rice eating people, they live considerably longer than we do, and they don't have the diseases we have. It's not a genetic thing. They just don't get all the things that you do when you're eating gluten, because there's no gluten in rice.
Right. Okay, thank you so much for your answer. That's
Okay,
what I
you bet.
thought.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Ruth Ellen, you might as well stay up here as others of our co-hosts, if they add themselves to the screen as well, that would be great. We just want to say thank you, Dr. Wallach. Because of you, each and every one of us has a purpose greater than ourselves. a purpose in being able to share knowledge that we have gained to help others have a healthier journey through life as well, and
Well, thank you.
overcome many
Thank you for the
different.
kind words. We'll give all the credit to the good Lord, because when I was 3 years old, I was seeing this with my father in the gym. I was only 3 years old, and he was a world champion boxer. And they're taking all these vitamins and minerals and drinking all these mineral drinks and so forth. And this is why he was a world champion. Okay. And so I'm seeing all this at 3 years old. So they're giving me little simps of all their drinks and everything like that. And so I was probably the strongest 3 years old living outside the land flowing with milk and honey.
Well, there you go, Doc. We want to be all strong living outside, no matter where we're at. As we have a chosen place that we have been planted, let's make sure that as we are planted, we are able to thrive no matter what. And that is through being intentional with quality supplementation that allows us to be able to do so. Now, folks, the products are not meant to take the place of primary care physician, nor is this show. The products do not diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease, but it's the nutrients within them that have been proven to support what has been said here on this show today. You can look it up yourself. Go to pubmed.gov, look up specific nutrients, and you will find that they do have massive impacts positively in the human body and its development. And I love the fact, Doc.
Let me throw in here, Becca, let me throw in here. They should also get the book Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. This is our big mineral book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. Okay.
Yes. And you can find Wallach's publications at www.drjwallach, that's WALLACH.com. Now, thank you, Dr. Wallach, for all that you've done and putting it into publications, and we're able to flip through the pages, find what we need to as we're researching. We appreciate that very much. And we are at the top of the hour, Doc, so I want to say thank you to all of our co-hosts. Thank you, Ruth Ellen, as the executive production manager, for keeping us all organized, making sure everything flows straight, pushing that live stream out. Thank you, Sherry, for being part of our tech team and setting up so that we can have this broadcasted on the different places live. Thank you, Marilyn, for all that you do as you're doing dictation and very studious in everything that you do with your amazing typist skills, putting that information into the chat, which is only available if you're here live with us, folks. So we do have Daily with Doc, zoom.com from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is 1 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. in South Africa. So no matter what time zone you're in, we are available at some time during your day, Monday through Friday. Or you can catch our replays, as next week we will be on vacation from our live presentation. So for those of you who join us live, go watch a replay. Tell us what your favorite replay is. I like to call them revisits, because we're revisiting things that are absolutely solutions within our toolbox. And we have Albert, who is way down in South Africa, joining us, which is late in the evening now. Thank you, Albert, as you're helping to let people in and keep an eye on stuff. We have Rod, also helping to let people in, keep an eye on stuff, looking at the different platforms as well for questions. We have AJ, who we're still trying to figure out a title for AJ, but he is the gentleman that is in charge of getting accounts set up so that we can be heard on all the different platforms and meeting people where they're at. Now, AJ, you have your hand up. Did you have a question, a comment, a concern?
Couple comments. Number one, DRJ Wallach can get your Rhino Express book. Don't forget that on drjwallach.com, and call, and they love to take the orders over the phone. And I was told to mention that tonight there will be a Pharmacist Ben's Bites at 6 p.m. Central Time. So, Becca, what time is that across the country? Central Time?
That would be 3 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Mountain. You said 5 o'clock Central? 6 o'clock. Okay, so let's do this the other way, okay? So that's 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific time. And at 4 o'clock Pacific time, it is actually 1 a.m. in South Africa. So plug in, and you can watch the live on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. We've got ability for, or if you're on iHeart or Spotify, Patreon, Brighteon, did I say Rumble?
X.
All of these different places, X, that's right. All these different places, Instagram, we're even doing some Snapchat stuff going on as well. And hey, Apple TV, Roku TV, there's one more, Fire TV, we're almost there. And if you have this knowledge and this itch to use social media because you know how to use it and you want to help build our message, spread our message, distribute our message, and you're not working with anybody and you want to put that skill to work, I'm doing a call to action right now. Get on the phone, 855-949-3377, and say, how can I help? And we will make sure that you have your place here at the table with us. If you're already working with somebody, get back with them and say, hey, I have this skill. I know it can be used to help market an amazing solution, and I want to be part of the solution. So, folks, thank you for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Again, my name is Becca Dukes. As the hostess of this program, I am also a certified holistic health coach and the director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health. If you've ever wanted to become a health coach, give our call team a call at 855-949-3377, and they will help you get more information on how to become a certified holistic health coach. So until next time, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Doc.
Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Thank you. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.